Right, welcome to MOOC Talk, episode 2. We've been doing a card sort and having lunch, and we were asked to come up with 12 of these cards that we thought were essential for the MOOC experience that we're talking about. The three of us are going to have a quick chat about the 12 cards that we've chosen and probably change our minds several times during the process. Once again, let's go first to BBC Radio 4's Dave White, who's recently been announced as a professional stand-in Martin Weller.
Apparently, yeah. So that was quite a useful process. Actually, we did that pretty quickly. It was actually relatively straightforward to work out what we didn't want.
Yeah.
There was some question about things like innovation and structure. So we could have put innovation in here, but we decided that some of these cards would be a side effect of other things. So I think one of the key areas that I think is going to be challenging for this afternoon across the groups is we put something like scaffolded learning, thank you, as a possibility, and put moments of chaos, likelihood of serendipity, as something that we think is important to keep the thing MOOCy and closer to the web culture than it is to perhaps institutional culture. And at this point I'll hand over to our roving cyclist Steve Warburton.
This is getting more silly as the afternoon goes on.
It's very hot.
I don't have much comment to make on this actually. The trickiest bit here is balancing the four areas as we've been asked to do, which were the support, the content, the reflection, the communication, collaboration. So we're kind of
which are colour coded.
So I think I'm quite happy with these. I think these are quite easy to actually put together. This is communication, collaboration, social, collaborative, conversational, although these two are linked, and we want debate. So in a sense, they're very tightly linked. I think that's what we want. In terms of content and experience, I think that's more difficult. There are probably quite a number of things that we could swap in and out of here, particularly from this area, whether we want a mix of theory and practice. I would like authentic resources. We are talking about OER, so in some senses reused and found materials are something we possibly want to be thinking about.
But we did have active discovery, didn't we?
Yeah, that kind of covers it as a process, isn't it?
Although that would be support and guidance. So
we know, but the net result of that is the same as reused or found, ultimately, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, what we're saying here, in a sense, is we're very light on the support and guidance, which is what we're saying about the MOOC, in essence, is that it should not be step by step.
Yeah.
So in a way, we're struggling to put anything here into that.
But a MOOC should be high here, and low over here anyway, I think.
Does that mean we should have student choice in here?
Student choice is a very complex set of ideas. It's become, unfortunately, a politicised term in that student choice kind of drives market choice, and you get all that stuff in there. Whether it's authentically MOOCy, I'm not sure, because the choice is to participate in a particular part of the MOOC rather than actually being a core of the MOOC.
Student choice of how they dip in and out. So
are you saying? So you're saying that student choice is kind of the other end of that spectrum in some ways? Because I think these are the kind of areas we're going to have massive disagreement across groups this afternoon.
I'm not keen to put scaffolded learning. It was just that students can choose their level of participation. So maybe I'm bastardising that a little bit. Maybe I'm not being true to what that probably is.
Well, no, but it's a point that's worth making, isn't it?
Students probably going to lead the way that they go.
Because relative to a really tightly controlled design, really scaffolded design, where the student choice is deliberately limited. In like a helpful way, perhaps. But this to me feels reasonably MOOCy. The ones that are possible, obviously, they're going to be more contentious.
And we're certainly lighter as well on the assessment end, because that's one of the constraints on how the course runs.
You're not going to have heavy assessment end.
Yeah, it's not the thing.
If you look at those two, reflective log or blog, student-generated content, if that goes well, it's enormously constructive, isn't it? You can that represents a massive thing.
I mean, the only two I'd probably have as yes and possible are that there is some form of self-assessment available where people can see where they are, or computer-marked assessment might be valuable for people
I'd be prepared to drop one of those in there, but I think given the subject, it's going to be that.
Yeah.
given the subject area.
So we've gone from 12 to 14 cards here on MOOC Talk, so we've expanded over this thing, but we're coming to the end of this 5-minute segment, so we're going to go and put the cards up now and see what happens.